we'll see if that goes a little bit better. Sim session should be up in just a moment. Sim session should be up in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, race number 2 on this Sunday night here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be the Slideways Karting Center open wheel midgets. They're going to be making their way around this 0.4 of a mile dirt oval. It's going to be the Slideways Karting Center open wheel midgets. Just finished up with the American Short Track Association Street Stocks, and it was Ronald Piles getting the win. Got some pre-race practice going on right now for the Slideways Karting Center midgets. And right now it's Martin Karch atop the leaderboards in the number 1 machine. Actually, it's Tim DeZwart now picking up that top spot. 16.286 seconds for DeZwart in the 69 machine. Looks like second spot, Brian Beach driving the 18 car. 16.630 seconds, just 0.3 of a second off the leader, very sideways off of turn number 2. These cars are a handful as Beach going to loop it around into, oh, we're going to go upside down there in turns 3 and 4. A lot more unpredictable ride here with the midgets than we had with the American Short Track Association Street Stocks just a minute ago. It's still DeZwart atop the standings. Martin Karch right now, 0.015 seconds out of that top spot. Karch going to be charging towards the front, is dangerous behind pretty much anything open wheel. Oh, going to loop it into turn number 1. Trying to keep it going. Come on, Martin. We're going to do 2 complete rotations. Going to bring it to a stop in the infield. Nonetheless, second right now in pre-race practice with a 16.302 second lap. Tim DeZwart atop the standings right now, 16.264. Third spot, Brian Beach in the 18 machine, a 16.3630, excuse me. Ronald Henry. Well, the standings are changing. Of course, this is live. Brett Rolls now, we see him upside down. He's actually third quick right now, 16.344 second lap from Brett Rolls. Ronald Piles going to be jumping in here in just a moment. I heard him say he's got all 3 cars here with him this evening. Going to be racing, picking up the win there in the Street Stock feature just a moment ago. Going to be trying to make it 2 for 2 here with the midget race this night. Once again, the midgets sponsored by Slideways Karting Center in Knoxville, Iowa. I've actually been there before. Back in 2004, my dad and I made the trip up from Northeast Arkansas. The good old Knoxville. Got to watch the Nationals there. Spent one of our afternoons out there at Slideways Karting Center. A heck of a facility. And it's only improved since we've been there. Once again, awesome to have those guys on board sponsoring the midget division here under the American Short Track Association umbrella. Race number 2 on this Sunday night. Entries rolling in here. Got a few more guys joining us out on the racetrack. 8 cars so far with times on the board. Brett Rolls now your quickest car in qualifying, a 16.159 second lap. Here's second, Tim DeZwart, the 69, a 16.160. So 1/1000th of a second right now separating the top 2 in pre-race practice. Steve Speece in third spot right now, 16.163, 4 thousandths of a second between the top 3 cars right now in qualifying. Martin Karch is 4th on the board at this point, a 16.302 second lap. His best effort so far. Pop in with Brett. We'll go cockpit view here. We'll go for a ride around Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track at Charlotte. Entering turn number 3, you see the car very sideways on entry. All about side bite with these midgets here. Not a lot of forward bite through the corners. You see how sideways the car is on the bottom. Brett Rolls working the bottom side of the racetrack, turns 1 and 2. Back down to the very, oh, and that's almost too much. All the way out of the throttle, gathers it back up. Nonetheless, still atop the board in pre-race qualifying. Oh, and we're going to grab a tire. Brett going to grab him a new one. The cool thing about this iRacing gear, if you just wreck it, you just grab a new car. Just grab you a new car. Don't have to worry about repair times or anything like that. Just grab a new one, get back out there, and get back at it right now. Trying to set that quick time is the name of the game, and Brett Rawls still the man on top of the standings right now. A 16.159 second effort. Tim Deswart still 2nd. 3rd spot still Steve Spiess. Martin Karch in 4th. And the top 5 is rounded out with your street stock winner, Ronald Piles. 16.193. Ronald's best lap right now. So the top 5 cars all separated by 6 hundredths of a second. That's how close the pre-race qualifying is right now between these guys in this practice group. Martin Karch now atop the leaderboard with a 16.133 second effort in the beautifully painted black and white number 1 machine. These guys give a little bit of ribbing to old Martin there for the effort that he puts in a paint job. But I tell you what, he's sitting atop the qualifying standings right now. Pretty don't win races. And now Steve Spiess atop the standings with a 16.046 second lap. And that is going to end the practice session. So Steve Spiess going to be atop there, 16.046 second lap around the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Once again, 0.4 of a mile around here. And we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 entries in the Slideways Karting Center midget race this evening. That should give us 2 heat races. And then we'll have our feature event coming up a little later. We'll get these guys rolled out for heat race number 1. Looks like Brett Roll's going to roll out here in the 17 machine. Looks like we're going to have Ronald Henry in the 75, Steve Spiess in the 28, Brian Beach in the 18, and Rick Gibson driving the 38 car, as well as the 45 of Michael Massey here in heat race number 1. Get them lined up here. Looks like Henry going to be on the inside of the front row. And he'll be alongside Brett Rolls in the 17. Second row back on the inside going to be the 18 of Brian Beach. And then it's going to be the 45 of Michael Massey on the outside. Rick Gibson inside row 3 in the 38 machine. And he'll be alongside the 28, your fastest qualifier of Mr. Steve Spiess. Looks like we are getting ready to go green off of 4. Top along here with Ronald Henry as we take the green flag down the front stretch into turn number 1. Henry on the bottom. The second spot right now belongs to the 17. Look at the move on the outside from Brett Rolls. Rolls going to take the top spot on the outside of turns 3 and 4. Looks like Rolls going to lead lap number 1. Back down into the first corner, rolls right through the middle towards the top side of the racetrack in the 17 machine. Lap number 1, a 16.876 second effort. Rolls still your leader off of turn number 4. Second spot right now, Rick Gibson in the 38 machine. He's got a good battle going on with Steve Spiess in the 28. Remember, Spiess, the quickest car in pre-race practice, with a 16.046 second lap time. Spiess all kinds of sideways in the bottom of the racetrack, and he's upside down. Steve Spiess, after setting quick time in pre-race practice, goes upside down in heat race number 1. Tough break for Steve. It's going to be fun to watch him come from the back of the feature. Your leader still the 17 of Brett Rawls. A 16.271 second, his best lap so far in heat race number 1. Second spot, the 38 of Rick Gibson. Gibson had some good fast laps in the street stock race just a few moments ago. Just couldn't get Lady Luck to come together for him. Trying to make it go a little bit better here in heat race number 1. Right now, the fastest car on the racetrack is the 38 of Rick Gibson, a 16.166 second lap around the outside of the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A rocket ship down the front boulevard of the turn number 1. And that is going to bring it to a close, ladies and gentlemen. 6 laps in the books for heat race number 1. The win going to the 17 of Brett Rawls. Second spot was the 38 of Mr. Rick Gibson. Heat race number 2 should be coming up here in just a moment. We'll get the drivers for the second heat race out on the racetrack, and we'll give you the lineup here in just a moment. Once again, congratulations to the 17 of Brett Rawls, taking home the win in heat race number 1 for the Slideways Karting Center Dirt Track Midgets here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Second spot there went to Rick Gibson. Rick had the fastest lap of that race, a 16.166 second effort for the driver of the 38 machine. Heat race number 2 rolling out here onto the racetrack. Looks like we're going to have Martin Karch in this one in the 1 machine, as well as the 69 of Tim DeSwart, the 60 of Brian Neff. Looks like the 66 of Bob Burlew going to be on the racetrack as well. Get these drivers in the appropriate order, and we'll give you the lineup. Looks like Burlew going to be on the inside of the front row in the 66. He's going to be alongside the 60 of Brian Neff. Second row back on the inside, the 69 of Tim DeSwart. There's Martin W. Karch on the outside of the second row. We are going green, I do believe, off of turn number 4. Absolutely. Here we go into turn number 1. And look at DeSwart in the 69 machine from the inside of the second row up to the lead off of turn number 2. DeSwart going to lead the field down into turn number 3. Looks like Martin Karch due in battle with the 60 of Brian Neff. That's for second spot. Karch going to make the move on the bottom of turn number 1. Oh, and Neff points the car to the outside retaining wall. Hangs on to that 4th spot. Karch now due in battle with Ronald Piles in the 68 machine. Piles started, I do believe, dead last in this heat race and is right now due in battle for the 2nd spot. He was your American Short Track Association Street Stock winner just a moment ago. And gonna get around Karch on the outside. Ronald Piles right now. Second fastest car in heat racing with a 16.246. Right now, due in battle with Martin Karch for the 2nd spot in heat race number 2. Your leader, still the 69 of Tim DeSwart out of Knoxville, Iowa. Was his heat race winner in the street stocks just a moment ago as well. DeSwart working the top side to the middle of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. A pretty good lead right now on the rest of the field. Second spot is still Martin Karch. Third spot belongs to the 68 of Ronald Piles. Brian Neff in 4th, and Bob Burlew, your pole sitter, rounding out the field. DeSwart still the leader. Off of turn number 4. still out in front by a sizable margin. Oh, and Karch through the infield. Down on the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 1. Back on the throttle, stands the thing up in the air. And that is going to do it for heat race number 2. The win going to Tim DeSwart in the 69 machine. We're going to turn everybody loose here for a few pre-feature hot laps. Slideways Karting Center. Main event for the Midgets is going to be coming up here in just a moment. The fastest lap of the night so far has been set by Steve Spies in the 20, or the, let's see, what number is Steve? Yeah, 28 machine. Had that right. 16.046 seconds. That has been the fastest lap of this Slideways Karting Center Dirt Midget race so far. Back out there on the racetrack for some pre-feature hot laps. Steve Spies right now, his best lap in this group, a 16.735. Racetrack is going to continue to slick off. The longer we're on it, the more use it's going to accrue. Spies working the high side, back down all the way to the bottom in turns 1 and 2, barely off the tires. Again, a good wide range of drivers here in this Slideways Karting Center Dirt Track Midget event. We've got several A-class, some B-class, a C-class driver, some Ds, and a rookie driver, Brian Neff, joining us with a rookie license here. A good way to get some good experience with some good drivers here in these American Short Track Association hosted sessions. Once again, this particular session sponsored by Slideways Karting Center in Knoxville, Iowa. Drivers racing here tonight from all over the country. And we are getting set to turn them loose here in just a moment for the Slideways Karting Center main event here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brian Neff, our rookie driver here out of Toledo, Ohio. Got some crash 'em ups there on the back stretch. Several drivers getting together. We'll get them all lined back out and turn them loose here in just a moment. Once again, thank you for tuning in if you're watching us at home. Race on Texas proud to broadcast a Sunday night of racing here with the American Short Track Association for you. My name's Nick Robbins here on the microphone. Scott Bargeloff on the cameras for me this evening. And we just want to thank Michael Massey and the rest of the American Short Track Association for just having us out and hopefully bringing you a great night of racing. The street stock event was fantastic. No cautions in either heat race or the main event there. We went 30 laps flag to flag. And there was some awesome 3 and 4 wide racing all over the racetrack. Several cars back down in the very low 16-second brackets. Once again, Brett Rawls now is 16.052 second lap here in some pre-feature practice. And then behind him, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers less than a tenth of a second apart as we get ready now to line things up. Post-race or pre-race hot laps are over. And we are going to get set to go for the feature event here with the Slideways Karting Center Open Wheel Dirt Midgets at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. $11 drivers entered in here tonight with the American Short Track Association here for the Midget feature. Some of these drivers are going to be competing in all 3 divisions. I know for sure that your street stock winner, Ronald Piles, was competing in all 3 divisions here tonight. Said he had all 3 cars here with him this evening at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. picking up the win by a convincing margin, almost 2 seconds in the street stock main event just a moment ago. And would love, I'm sure, to double it up here and pick up this midget win. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'll take the green flag and then we'll cross up into our lineup according to our heat race results. And we'll get that starting grid here for the Slideways Karting Center midget main event. Once again, 11 drivers entered in here to race this evening. We're going to be getting ready to turn them loose here in just a minute. Once again, my name is Nick Robbins. Going to be bringing you the Slideways Karting Center main event here for the midgets, and then we'll be rolling right on into our Patriot Graphics UMP Modifieds. And that'll be our third and final event of the evening. Pace Truck's going to leave the racetrack, and we'll get everybody lined up just as soon as we take the green. See the drivers here shift into their appropriate positions. Like Rawls going to be inside the front row in the 17. He's going to be joined by the 69 of Tim DeZwart. Second row back on the inside going to be the 38 of Mr. Rick Gibson. He'll be alongside the 68 of your street stock winner, Mr. Ronald Piles. Third row back on the inside, the 18 is Brian Beach, and it's going to be Martin Karch to the outside in the 1. Michael Massey and Brian Neff make up row number 4. Row 5 is the 75 of Ronald Henry, the 66 of Bob Burlew, and the 28 of Steve Speece, and we are green. Rawls going to lead the field into turn number 1. And he'll lead them off of turn 2 with DeZwart in second spot, Gibson in third. Through 3 and 4. Still, Rawls leading lap number 1, DeZwart in second. Gibson in third spot. Here comes Gibson on the inside, down the backstretch into turn number 3. Going to try to challenge DeZwart for that second spot. There's fourth spot. That is the 68 of Ronald Piles. We're 3 wide down the front boulevard into turn number 1. Piles on the very bottom of the racetrack trying to make it a 2-for-1 deal. Not going to pick up either of them, but it is going to be Gibson taking over the second spot. Piles there in third. 3 wide once again with DeZwart trying to crossover move. Going to get all kinds of out of shape off the bottom of turn number 4. DeZwart going to slip back to fourth spot. Ronald Piles running in the third position behind Rick Gibson, your runner-up. Remember, Piles won the street stock feature just a few moments ago, grabbing a tire there in the middle of turns 3 and 4. That pushes the car all the way to the wall just about. We got a good battle shaping up for our top position with Rick Gibson trying to run down Brett Rawls here. Gibson, the fastest car on the racetrack right now, a 16.246. Actually, Steve Speece, the fastest car on the track. Speece right now running back in the 6th position after rolling it in the heat race and starting dead last on this feature. Speece up to 6th spot. In 5 laps, your leader, Owen Speece, goes around in turn number 3. Has to take the shortcut through the infield. Back up front, your leader still Brett Rawls. Here comes Rick Gibson, though, in the 2nd spot. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. Rawls now with the best lap of this race, a 16.108 second effort. Gibson, 16.226 is his best lap. Here comes Gibson off the bottom of turn number 2. A great run through the middle of the racetrack. Is it going to be enough? Closing the gap as we come into turn number 3. I don't think it's going to quite be there. It's still going to be Rawls with the lead. 9 laps. Oh, and the top 2 cars get together. Oh, we're going to have a big caution there on the backstretch. Caution flag gonna come out, ladies and gentlemen. Brett Rawls and Rick Gibson getting together there through turns 1 and 2. And unfortunately for Gibson, it's gonna cost him a good spot right now. Looks like the car beaten and banged up. You see the damage there on the front of the 38 machine. Is Gibson gonna try to keep it rolling? Nope, looks like he's going to bring it to a stop at the top of turn. I think that's number 3. Gibson going to fall into line. Yep, that was just a racing deal there. Your leader, Brett Rolls, got a little bit sideways. And Gibson, with nowhere to go, gets into the back of him. Looks like we may... Not sure what's going to go on with the lineup here. Let's see if Rawls gets it, or if Gibson's going to get his spot back, or if he's going to have to go to the back of the pack. Brett Rawls going to be your leader. Ronald Piles now in second spot. I'll tell you what, he's getting ready to pounce. Ronald Piles there, less than a tenth of a second off pace with your leader. Piles once again was your street stock winner just a moment ago. And it looks like the 38 of Rick Gibson gonna go to the back.
The pace car is in.
Run around here and catch up the tail end of the field. Won't be scored in last position, though. We do have a couple cars.
Green flag.
Laps down here as we go back. Green flag racing with Brett Rolls back out in front. Ronald Piles in second. Here comes the 18 of Brian Beach in third. Good run for Michael Massey there in fourth. Massey with a great run off the bottom of turn number 2. He's going to challenge Beach for third as we come into turn number 3. Still going to be Rolls with the lead. Ronald Piles in second. Good run for Piles down on the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Is it going to be enough to take the top spot? No, sir. Still wheel to wheel as we come into turn number 3. Here's the slide job we were all waiting for. It's not going to be enough. Piles yeah, it will. Piles going to hang on to it as Rawls gets loose right through the middle. So Ronald Piles looking to make it 2 for 2 in the 68 machine tonight. Brett Rawls trying to run him down. Now we've got another slide job coming up. Here's good run on the bottom of turn number 3. Not going to be enough. Brett Rawls still in second spot. Piles out in front in the 68. Brian Beach with the best spot in the house, watching these two go wheel to wheel for the top spot. Beach right now in third spot, closing that gap as Ronald Piles and Brett Rawls slice and dice for the lead. This could be a 3-car race in a hurry as Beach still in frame there in the 18 car. Rawls now with a good look to the inside of turn number 3 as Piles gets loose, and Rawls going to retake the top spot off of turn number 4. Brett Rawls and Piles crosses him over and drag races down the front stretch. According to the scoring here, the ATVO scoring, the timing screen, it was Brett Rawls that time at the line by 14 thousandths of a second. That time, though, it's going to be Ronald Piles back around the outside. Piles back to the top spot. And here comes Rawls once again on the bottom of turn number 2. Going to have some lap traffic coming into play here. Bob Burlew in the 66. Right in the middle. The leaders are going to split him. It's still Piles out front. 20 laps complete that time by at the stripe, ladies and gentlemen. And Piles very sideways that time through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Can Brett Rawls close the gap? That time by it was a 3/10 of a second margin from first to second. Fastest lap of the race still belongs to the 17 machine. So Rawls has got the car set up very well. It's going to be a slide jump through turns 1 and 2. Not going to be enough. The two get together. Piles going to hang on to the top spot. Here comes Brian Beach now. Brian Beach looking to the inside. Oh, and Beach going to loop the 18 car in turn number 4. Brian Beach goes around after trying to put a slide job on second place. And that is going to give us another caution flag, ladies and gentlemen. 21 laps complete that time around. Pace truck back out on the speedway. Ronald Piles, your leader. Brett Rawls in second. Martin Karch is third. Rick Gibson, how about this for good news, has worked his way back up to fourth after having to go to the back earlier on while running second. Michael Massey right now rounds out the top 5. Brian Neff in 6th. Ronald Henry is 7th. Brian Beach, unfortunately, going to be starting in the 8th position. Bob Burlew, Steve Speece, and Tim DeZwart round out the field. Once again, Slideways Karting Center sponsoring the Midget portion of the American Short Track Association Sunday Night Speed here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Still pacing around here behind the pace truck. Like I said, Ronald Piles out front. He's your leader. We'll line up at the front of the pack when we get ready to retake the green flag here in just a moment. Still riding around behind the pace truck here, as you can see. And unfortunately, there goes Brian Beach into the pit area. That may end his night. The field bunching back up here. The pace truck still on the racetrack. Ronald Piles out of Kingwood, West Virginia.
The pace car is in.
HAR Motorsports, Piles Racing, TC Race Cars, Ace High Fab, and iRacing iFlag sponsoring the 68 Midget machine tonight. Also, Ronald, a real-life racer, racing dirt street stocks out there in the eastern part of the United States as we go back green. Piles leads us back into turn number 1. A good battle shaping up for the second spot. It's Martin Karch on the bottom in the 1 machine underneath the 17 of Brett Rawls. Here comes Rick Gibson. A Cinderella story if there ever was one. Had hard luck in the street stocks. Hard luck early on in the midget feature. Has clawed and scratched his way back to a 4th position. Gibson right now wheel to wheel with Martin Karch into turn number 3, working the top side of the racetrack. It still Piles out front. Rawls in second. Good run from Gibson.
You've got 2 laps to go.
We've got a yellow on the racetrack. Yellow flag on the racetrack. Like it may have been for the 60 car of Brian Neff. A flag once again coming back out on the speedway here, ladies and gentlemen. It was Brian Neff going around there, looping it in the 60 car. So unfortunately for Brian, that'll put him towards the back of the field. He is still on the lead lap. The only rookie licensed driver in the field this evening, still on the lead lap in the 60 car. Okay. Looks like that's going to end it, ladies and gentlemen, there. We are going to, unfortunately, finish this one under caution. And a couple of good celebratory donuts there for the 68 machine of Ronald Piles, making it 2 for 2 so far. Sunday Night Speed here with the American Short Track Association. We'll get him up here in the press box in just a minute, have a real quick word with him. Once again, congratulations to the driver of the 68 machine out of Kingwood, West Virginia, to Ronald Piles.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Ronald, can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
Absolutely, man. Great job. 2 for 2 so far tonight. Boy, that was touch and go there for a little bit. Rawls had a good run there out in front. You just ran him down and made it work. These midgets a lot different than the street stocks. What's it take mentally to adjust to something like that?
Mostly just know how to get around the corner. Getting in and out of the corner there, it'll definitely make a difference. Once you get out of the corner there, getting into the corner, holding their throttle, being patient, getting back on the gas. A couple of times I ran just about 3/4 throttle to full to the center just to see what I had for Brett. Top side through 1 and 2, and then I figured out a little bit of braking maneuvering going into the corner. Definitely played off trying to keep it from getting loose. A couple times I got out of shape a little bit, trying a different line, see if I get a better run. But definitely a good run with a teammate like that. Me and Brett's pretty close. Not just on the track, but when we set up for races as well.
Always good to be able to race, hard like that with your friend on the racetrack there. And I mean, good run. 2 for 2 so far tonight. Run through those sponsors one more time, brother.
Definitely ASTA Fabrication, Har Motorsports, TC Race Cars, iRacing iFlag, I mean, I thank them. Helps me out with caution stuff here in the race. I got a pit box here, helps me out with my fuel for bigger races. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody there, but definitely ASTA for putting this on again, and I thank you guys for putting the broadcast show on. It's been fun tonight. It's been fun throughout this whole series. I think we got like 1 or 2 more races left, and I'll definitely be here for those as well. And looking forward to the modifieds here in a few minutes.
Awesome, brother. Congratulations once again, and good luck to you. Let's go 3 for 3, shall we?
Gonna work on it. No promises.
All right, man.
Rolling Dog Motorsports Complex in Pennsylvania. I run pretty much what they run in street stocks here online, just with aluminum bodies.
And you're out of Kingwood, West Virginia, correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome,
Currently in
man.
school at Lima, Ohio, so I got 3 different locations. It's a lot of fun, though.
Well, look, congratulations to you, brother, and happy to have you here in your busy schedule here with us on Sunday Night Speed. And congratulations once again. Good luck going 3 for 3. Mr. Ronald Piles in the 68 car.
Thank you very much.